That was weird. The countdown ended and the stream didn't start. I'm just enjoying the Christmas disco style music. I've forgotten I'd done that. It's a very long time ago I made those. Anyway, that was an odd intro, wasn't it? Welcome back to Sam's Trains Live, the final live stream of 2024. But we have a fun-filled episode full of live trains and Christmas shenanigans and all sorts of other things, so hooray! It's not so bad after all. Anyway, welcome everybody. How are you doing? My goodness, that chat is flying. So I've got a bit of a Christmas special for you today. So I've got some Christmas themed requests to run. So if you'd like to submit one of those, little $ down in the bottom corner, it's your chance to support the channel and also pick something to run on a live stream. Now, this is the last stream I'm going to be doing for a good long while. I don't know when the next ones will be. So if you do anybody hear that? What was I saying? If you do submit a request, please bear in mind if it doesn't fit into today's stream, it'll have to be done in the future. So bear that in mind. What else was I going to say? And, yes. And for the most festive request of the day, I am going to award this. It's a beautiful Smith's Christmas wagon, of which only 100 of these were made. So I let any manufacturer get in touch with me and say, you know, I want you to mention this and this in your model railway news videos. Well, I did. I give Smiths a little mention for this gorgeous N-Gauge Christmas wagon, and they actually sent me one for my live streams to give away. So I thought, yep, I've got a Christmas episode coming up at the end. I'll save it for then. So thank you very much, Smiths. It is beautiful, by the way. Let me get in a bit closer. There you go. So most festive requester of the evening. You can have this. If you want it, if you want one of the 001s, you can instead. But yeah, that's the main attraction that I'm giving away today. All right, I have of course got a Christmas poem to read for you as well, and some other little interesting bits and bobs, some throwbacks to Christmases of the past, and also videos of the past, which I will bring out later on as we get on. But how are we doing? I'm going to miss these streams when they're over, but I tell you what, I do need a rest, so that will be nice as well. Sam's being jump scared by nothing, says David Molin. Yeah, well, it didn't sound like nothing. It sounded like a spring going boing. So maybe there's an innard of one of my locos that's just gone awry. I don't know. It sounded like it was coming from the loco shelves, but I don't know. Anyway, nice sweater, Sam. How are you doing today? Well, thank you. I thought I would wear something reasonably festive. I wear the sweaters. Oh, not past tense, present tense. I wear the sweater, the Rudolph sweater, for the Advent videos. So I thought I would wear a different one for this stream. Shout out for me and Bubbles, of course, Jane W. Yeah, no problem. Air Knight, that's a cool request. Can I see the streamlined Hush Hush with a rake of teaks? And thank you so much to everybody who has sent in a request over this series. Yeah, it's been amazing. The requests have been really enjoyable, and of course, all of your support means that I can keep doing videos for this channel. So yeah, I really appreciate that. Air Knight and everybody else. I've seen some other requests come through, so we'll get to those later on. And also, oh my word, I can't pronounce that. Tlazohitalia. I had a go. Can you run the Bachman Gordon pulling the Christmas Express? Yes, no problem. Thank you for that request. We do like the Thomas and Friends ones, and I have got some Thomas and Friends requests coming up. Also, let me give a shout out to Chloe and George, because I've meant to do this all over these streams, but I have forgotten up until now. So there you go. Chloe, see you soon. She said she was going to be watching, so I'll just give you a little mention just to know that you're in my mind. Williamtown, yes, I saw your request. Thank you so much. Stan Does Train says my wagon arrived in perfect condition today, Sam. So thank you for that. No problem. I'm glad you like it. Kelly Ashford, could you run the creepy grey Tango with the egg vans and have it derail behind the bookcase? I don't know how I could engineer that latter point, Kelly, but yeah, I could certainly run those for you. Thank you very much. And Jenny Hepton says, hello Sam, my son says hello. Well, to Jenny Hepton's son, hello to you too. I hope you're doing all right. Cool, right. Well, with that then, let's run some trains for the last, well, no, not the last time quite this year, but one of the last times. So we have a request from J&W Studios, who wanted to see the Class 17 with egg vans and a Tango at the back with the 1361 smashing into it. So the 1361 is there, so I'll start that train last, and if the 1361 is faster than the rest of the train, then it should smash into the rest. But otherwise, I don't know what will happen, we'll see. Then we have ECD Railroad, who wanted to see the unrebuilt Blue Merchant Navy with the Blue Mark IIIs. So that's an interesting one. Yeah, odd match, but it does kind of work. I do quite like that. And then we have Hendrick Motorsports Fan 5, who wanted a military-style train with the S160 or the Hush Hush leading. So I went with the Hush Hush because, well, I've got one of those. So we'll start with the Merchant and the Mark IIIs. Don't think she's ever hauled those before. And the Hush Hush train, which needs to go forwards with its military train. And let's see what happens for J&W Studios. Will the 1361 catch the rest of the train? Yep. Smash! Kaboom! It's actually sped the train up massively. So that's going to go wrong, isn't it? I think we'll have to run this one in reverse, because that 17 is so sluggish that it was definitely going to cause the egg vans to derail. I don't know if I've got the energy to deal with that today. I mean, having said that, more than likely it will still happen anyway. But you never know, you never know. So yeah, we're backing up with lots of eggs, treading on eggshells, or hopefully not treading on them, sort of protecting them, I suppose. And we'll see how that works. There goes the train of Mark IIIs with the Merchant, looking lovely. And the military train there for Hendrick Motorsports Fan 5. And I've got a nice Lion train on the track. That was there from something else I've been filming, but I thought, you know what, we've got a live stream tonight. Let's leave it there. It's not hurting anybody there. And there's the 1361, who is still missing its smoke box. I forgot to put the smoke box back on the last time it dropped off. And I think quite possibly now I've forgotten where it is. So unless I find it, I think it will remain smoke boxless, possibly forever. So yeah, sorry about that 1361. Not that she's any the worse for it, of course, because that's impossible. Now, things have slowed down dramatically for that train. Oh. What? Stevenson's rocket? Did you see that? Poor old Stevenson's rocket. My word. I've got to rescue Stevenson. That's remarkable how that was working. That's a joke. I must have left her on from something else I was filming. Maybe she stopped behind the bookcase. Is that where she started? And the Hush Hush just rammed Stevenson's rocket right up the behind, which is an unfortunate turn of phrase. I don't know why we're back onto this again. And she was just riding along quite happily. She didn't care. Now, something has gone awry though. That Class 17 train was going at a decent speed, but now things have decelerated to an almost farcical level. What's happening? Has one of the engines died? That would be my guess, actually. I guessed correctly. The 1361 has died. And it's just... There we go. I don't bother saying, is this the end of the 1361? Because it never is. I always sort of twist it and then it starts working again. It's just so rubbish, it just sort of jams itself up and seizes up from time to time. So unfortunately, the demise has not been met yet of that loco. Wow, Robert Sparks, thank you very, very much. That's a very generous super chat. Robert, thank you for your support. You know, it really does mean a lot. This channel means so much to me, and the fact that people are willing to support it in that way Yeah, it really is just awesome. So thank you for that, Robert. Now, I don't mean to disrupt my sincere thanks, but I just heard something go a bit wrong. I don't know what. Oh my gosh! Stop all the trains! I don't know if you could see it. Ah! Goodness sake. The egg vans. The egg vans have toppled at the last curve. And the Merchant Navy, which is an engine I actually like, has smashed into them. So I take that seriously. I don't want my Merchant Navy being injured. Oh, good Lord. Right. Well, that was eventful. Partly my fault for leaving articles on the track still. Partly the fault of the train gods. I don't know how that happened. Maybe the 1361 seized up again. I don't know. Let's see if we can actually get them to move. No, the 1361's moving. Let me try and get these egg vans back, because I need these. Wow, that was impressive, the way those egg vans were scattered all over the place. Hopefully I'm not showing off too much of my naked back there. Sorry about that, if so. Right, let's bring these Helgen locos back. That class 17 is ridiculous. Why does it run so slow? Right, thank you, Hush Hush. That was a nice little service there. Let me take off these then, and I'll put my egg vans back on, because I am going to need those for next time. Right, egg vans, where are you? Here they are. And of course, the really, really, so annoying thing about these egg vans is that the coupling hooks don't stay on them. I put them on, I put them back on once in a while. I collect them in a pot, and then once it gets to ridiculous levels, I have a session putting them back on. But yeah, they just keep coming off, so I have to set them up on the track so that I'm not putting two couplings together that are both missing their hooks, otherwise obviously they won't couple. So annoying. What's the point? What is the bally point of them? Right, well, thank you for those requests. I mean, the people that requested it, it's not your fault, except for the person that chooses egg vans, because that is guaranteed to go wrong, and I know that's why they do it. Okay, so because we're feeling festive today, I decided to act on a request that I've had. I've not had it from many people, I'll be honest with you. Only a couple of people have mentioned this, but it's something that I kind of wanted to do as well. So I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to cozy us all up, and I'm going to read you a lovely Christmas poem. Now, it's a Christmas poem that I wrote last year. It's heartwarming in the most beautiful possible sense. And I presented it here on a live stream about a year ago for the first time, and I've decided that I'm going to bring it back to you live. But before I do, I think it's first necessary to set the scene. So let me just move out of shot, and let's see what I can do here to make this room feel a little sort of less blazingly bright. Ooh, that looks slightly more festive, I would say. Yeah, very slightly. And I'll bring a light round, because I will have to read this poem, and I hope that that has created a very pleasant atmosphere. Oh yes, very pleasant for me to read this poem for you. So with that, I've marked out the correct page of my poem. See, when I pre-recorded this last time, it was all a little bit neater, but I'm obviously doing this live for you. So are you ready? Ooh, there's a few things I think I'd like perhaps to make this just a little more comfortable. Bear with me. I'm surprised people haven't already called me out for not having my Christmas hat on, but you can't read a Christmas poem without the Christmas hat, so that should be a little bit better. Right, where were we? Well, we weren't anywhere. I haven't started. No. Still don't quite feel right. Ah, yes. This should do. Okay. There we go. That's going to be nice and cozy now. People often say I act and talk like an old man, so I might as well be like one and wrap myself up. Right, that feels more like it. This is how I was last year. Okay. This is a poem called The Night Before Christmas. You may have heard of a poem very similar to this that's called A Night Before Christmas or The Night Before Christmas. This one is a little different, so I hope you're sitting comfortably and be quiet over there in chat country. Not really, you can continue your chattings if you'd like, but here we go. Wish me luck, here goes. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the yard not an engine was stirring, not even Mallard. How's that for a rhyme? Isn't that a killer? The wagons were parked near the sidings with care, in hopes that the signalman soon would be there. The engines were nestled all snug in their sheds, while visions of premium coal danced in their heads. With Scotsman in the east shed, Cock of the North in the south, I'd just placed half a crumpet into my mouth. When out on the tracks there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my line-side hut to see what was the matter. You see what I'm doing here? Away to the signals I flew like a flash. I tripped over the sleepers and busted my backside. What the hell? Ass! That tickled me last year, I remember. Right, sorry, I apologise. When what to my wondering eyes should appear but a dirty old man with a bottle of beer. That's right, Steptoes come. With a scruffy white beard held on with a string and a mouldy red coat that might once have been bling. He staggered and moaned as he leaned on his stick, but with my dodgy eyesight, I thought it was Saint Nick. He approached the engines with a toothless smile. He'd come to play about with the trains for a while. Into the shed with a chuckle he came, and approached the locomotives and called them by name. Now Mallard, now Scotsman, now Rocket, now Lion, on terriers, on panniers, on shunters, oh damn, it's Brian. The old man spotted me in the doorframe behind him, and he grinned when he saw me with a face that was grim. He shuffled towards me dragging one foot, and he wheezed when he walked like an injured old mutt. A small bag of coal he had flung on his back. I assumed that his plan was a train to hijack. I told him, "Sir, no, you can't steal an engine." He said, No, I must. I've just done my sleighing." I believed he was Santa, so I offered a hand. It was better than the somewhat dull evening I'd planned with the crumpet. We climbed onto an engine, all subtle and quick. He yanked on the regulator and gave it a flick. I opened the firebox and threw in the coal, and with a word of good luck, I leapt from the engine we'd stole. He gave me a wave as he giggled all juvenile. "I've helped save Christmas," I thought with a smile. And I heard him exclaim as he rode out of sight, "I'm not really St. Nicholas, but this'll be one hell of a night." Whoa, actual dust flew out of that book. That's probably because it's not been opened for a whole year. Anyway, thank you very much for that. We'll now disappear for a short ad break.
Introducing Slackman's Nasty Crisps for the model railwaymen. Our crisps are so nasty and overpriced, you'll never want to spend money on snacks again. Instead, you can focus your funds on what's important. Your model puffy trains.
Those crisps were absolutely vile. Now,
So go ahead.
No, I don't want any more.
Give Slackman's a try and buy the last bag of crisps you'll ever need. Hey, all right there, lads. Welcome to my humble little model shop. Today, I want to talk to you all about trains. Oh, God's sake, sets. Also known as train sets. Train sets. Ow, mummy leg! Train sets. Santa's Express, £75. Train sets for the railway children, £175. Train sets. Somerset Bell, £4.99. Definitely a complete train set and certainly not an empty box. This is actually not a train set. This is a pair. But with a shape like that, who wouldn't want it? Yours for £5. Train sets!
Today's video is sponsored by Connors Carpets, the #1 carpet specialist for model railway enthusiasts. Our seductive range of carpets are comfortable for even the stubbornest of train enthusiasts. The colours are so vibrant that they'll literally melt the eyeballs out of your head. Our green carpet looks just like grass. So you can lay track directly onto it for a realistic modelling experience. And don't worry about the fluff from our carpets clogging up your model trains. Every carpet we sell comes with this convenient lint remover absolutely free. Simply apply a strip of fluff tape to the bottom of your model and watch as the fibres just peel away. So give Connors Carpets a call today and have us come and fit the carpet of your dreams. And remember, Connors Carpets are so abrasive, they'll strip the skin right off your feet. So be ready for that.
This is Jim. Oh, this Christmas could be his last, what with the threat of war and diseases. Let's make this Christmas one for Jim to remember, with a cheap gift. Why not try a Bachmann Gandhi dancer? It'll look like an expensive gift when Jim checks your bank statement, but we promise that it's incredibly cheap, and we will help you to sell it on for more than you paid for it after Jim dies. Ruin your elderly friend or relative's Christmas with a disappointing Gandhi dancer now, or next year you might regret it.
Because they might be dead.
The train looks so real. I want to walk straight into it.
Well, that's that then. That's that. And Kelly, if you're watching, I don't know if you still are, that last one was for you. And I guess Azuma as well, because you always seem to reference that one and the 3D glasses things. It's one of you anyway. So yeah, hopefully those adverts brought back some memories for you. And for me, it brought about the realization that I've made a lot of bogus adverts over the years. I don't know why, but it seems every stupid video I do has got some sort of bizarre advert in it, and there's a lot more besides that I didn't put into that. So yeah, look out, maybe another day you'll find another ad break in some of my stuff with similar things. But anyway, since Christmas is coming up, let me know in the chat, is there anything that you're looking forward to? Is there any models that you're hoping to get for Christmas or perhaps buy around this time? Is there anything that you're looking forward to coming out, hopefully before Christmas? There have been some exciting new releases made, and hopefully I'm going to have reviews for those out before very long. So we've got that. And there's a lot of exciting videos coming out on the channel before Christmas as well. One of them is an absolute staple of every year, and I'm not going to talk about what it is. I'm not going to reveal it, so don't ask me because I shan't tell you. But that's coming pretty soon, and I've got how many more reviews of this year? There's 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 4, maybe even 5 more reviews still to go. So that's not bad in half a month. So yeah, lots of reviews still to come, so stay tuned for those. Mayo Hosco, thank you so much. You'd like to see Donald and Douglas back to back with Wokes Coach in between and Bill Hack snowplows in front of the engine. So Donald and Douglas are on snow clearing duties, are they? Yes. Clearing snow before Christmas. That's awesome. Right. Eggs Trains is wanting the O-Gauge Ruston 48. I have no O-Gauge. Well, I don't blame you for that at all. I think the first N-Gauge locos I bought was when I had no N-Gauge. But, you know, that's the same as everybody, you know. Anybody who buys their first bit of N-Gauge currently has no N-Gauge. Same with O-Gauge. So you've got to start somewhere. That's what I always say. Trainline 5000 has got 2 Accurascale sound-fitted Deltics arriving soon. Gosh, sound-fitted. That is a treat. You have treated yourself there big time. Marion Bond, Joe Bond, hoping to get some 009 locomotives. Oh, which ones? I tell you what, Bachmann's 009 locos that I looked at this year have been among some of the best models I've looked at this year. The Quarry Hunslet, the Bagley Drury, the Festiniog Double Fairley, my goodness, they are putting some effort into their 009 models. Some of the finest locos I think I've ever seen. Can we have... Oh, Derailed. Oh, that's an unfortunate name. I'm hoping for an Athearn KCS EMD F7 or a Lionel 3-rail O-scale Polar Express 20th anniversary set. Yes, it is the 20th anniversary of the Polar Express this year, isn't it? It's not their HO scale products, this is top end stuff. Really? Lionel's O-Gauge is good, is it? Maybe I'll have to try it. Maybe I'll have to get a 3-rail train set. That would be fine if it was just a train set that I could set up for a video. That's something I could potentially do. J&W, thank you so much. Merry Christmas, Sam. For today's challenge, could you run the M7 and the Midland 1P with some red and green coaches? Merry Christmas from Jasper and Willow. Yes, no problem. And thank you for all these requests. Like I say, if they don't fit into this stream, I think I got 6 more, but I think I've got more than 6 have come through. So yeah, I apologise if I don't fit them in today, but I will get them done in the new year for you, probably in a short video, a YouTube Shorts video. So yeah, look out for that if I don't squeeze you in for today, but I do appreciate you very much, and I will go through and shout out everybody at the end of this. Right, Christian Trainspotter is hoping for a Bachmann 60532 Blue Peter or a Platinum Jubilee 67007. 2 very different locos there. Quite a few people seem to like the Platinum Jubilee engine, so that's cool. All right. Yes, Beaglington, I did see your super chat. Thank you very much. Azuma says, this Christmas marks 10 years since I first knew about Hornby trains. Wow. What a journey you've been on then, if you've been following Hornby for 10 years. Yeah, they've been on quite the journey, haven't they, over this past 10 years. Planes and Trains would love to see me give T-Gauge a go. Yeah, I get comments about T-Gauge quite often. I think most of them are from the same person. But yeah, T-Gauge, any gauge really, I'd be interested in trying once. And if it's good, maybe it's something I could, you know, make a more regular thing. Eggs Trains is hoping for a Mamod TE1A as well. Mamod, I'd love to try something from them. Yeah, maybe even one of those little old static engines that you can get. And I'd love to give one of those a go. I don't know if it'd be suitable for up here in the loft. Maybe it would, you know. could put my extraction system on and burn some fuel up here. That would be fun. Oh, LaserJet's here. Hello, Laser. How are you? Thinking of getting a Bachmann 9F 92212 with sound. Is that the one I drove? I might not have mentioned this before on the channel, but for one of my birthdays many years ago, I actually received, as a present, an experience driving a 9F. So I actually did drive a 9F once upon a time. There you go, you heard it here first. It's a Sam's Trains exclusive. World War II Rebel just subscribed. Well, thank you very much. Welcome aboard. Hope you enjoy the channel. It's a good time to subscribe because there's a lot of good content coming out. Simeon Jackson, thank you so much. Can we see the Bachmann Polar Tat? Polar Tat? What's a Polar Tat? Full speed in reverse and then accidentally derail and fall down the loft hatch. Polar Tat? What's that? Oh, look at my pom-pom. I don't know. I don't have a Polar Express by Bachmann. I have a Lionel one, but that's already gone down the loft ladder in a heap of bits, a sticky mess at the bottom. So I can't do that. But yeah, let me know, Simeon. Let me know what you meant by that. You drive 92204. Yeah, is that the one? I forget which number it was now. I probably shouldn't have forgotten that, but whatever. Crazy, says Train Tech Gaming. Quite right, quite crazy indeed. It's one of the craziest things I've ever known. I'm not sure what we're talking about, but I trust you when you say it's crazy. I'm on board with that. Oh, on board. A slight train pun. Stop saying that. You mentioned driving the 9F about 1 million times. Did I, Azuma? I talk about it personally to people. I don't think surely I've not mentioned that before on a video or a live stream. Oh well, I did anyway. I suppose it's the first most people will be hearing about it. Maybe I just told you in a comment or something, Azuma. I don't know. Anyway, let's. I'll do some more chats and shout-outs later on, but let's have another look at some more trains. So I suspect that it's going to be a pretty Tango-heavy day today because we have Taggart 00 who wanted to see the Tango with egg vans. So yeah, that's why I wanted the egg vans back on. They have one little chance to redeem themselves, and if they derail again, well, I think they'll be back because somebody else has probably asked for them. And then Hendrik wanted to see the Bachmann Thomas with a bit of a Christmas train. So we've got a Christmas tree wagon, not necessarily in this order, 2 present wagons, a milk van, or not a van, a tanker, and a brake van. So thank you for that, Hendrik. Then Williamtown, a slightly more serious request. This wanted to see a Class 47 with some sleeper coaches, a Pullman, and I'm going to call the train the Nightfall Limited. That sounds very lovely, actually. So, Tango time. I'm going with the new Grey Tango as its debut in a Sam's Trains live stream. Bachmann Thomas, who's always very sleepy when he first starts. So let's have the 47 charge past him. That should wake anybody up. There we go. And if Thomas doesn't improve, I'll have to give him a touch more juice, but hopefully he'll warm up slowly. I mean, Thomas's train looks deceptively short, but to be fair, that Christmas tree on the Christmas tree wagon is made from resin and it's very heavy. So it's actually quite a difficult one to haul, really. Christmas is better in G-scale, says Williamtown. Is that so? Well, Bachmann do produce a lot of Thomas models in G-scale and they're very large indeed. I've just heard a concerning crack. Thank you, Williamtown, appreciate that. G-scale is, yeah, David Reichard says G-scale is too expensive. It is, yeah, I think that's probably the reason why I've not already looked into that so far, because it's, yeah, it is pricey. Oh, I mentioned it. Did I mention it on the Great Central video? Oh, did I? Oh, I'd forgotten I'd ever mentioned that. It's not something I particularly like to mention, because it's not something, you know, it's not the sort of thing that I would mention constantly. You know, I don't go up to people and say, oh, I drove a 9F, because, you know, it might be something that I'm proud of, but I don't know that it's something that they're interested in. But it certainly seems to have sparked quite a discussion, so perhaps it's, you know, perhaps it's something I should mention a little bit more, you know. Whenever it pops into my head, perhaps I should mention it, just to let people know, in case they were wondering, you know, has Sam's Trains ever driven a steam locomotive? Yes, he has. And what was it? Well, I'm glad you asked. It was a 9F. Yeah, once I drove a 9F. It was on the Great Central Railway. It was, the regulator was very stiff, and you have to be very careful not to pull it too hard. Otherwise it goes to full power and the engine starts taking off quite scarily. Yeah, anyway, look at me talking about the time I drove a 9F. Yeah, if you'd like to learn more about the time I, with my hands and body, drove a British Rail Class 9F steam locomotive, check out my video at the Great Central Railway from a few years ago, and you'll be able to learn all there is to learn about the time that I was fortunate enough to drive a 9F 210 in BR Green. It was at the time. Yes, driving a 9F. One of the highlights of my train related life, I would say. How many people could you ask? You know, have you ever driven a Class 9F? How many people do you think would say yes? Well, at least one would, and that's me. I drove a Class 9F. Right. I think I've mentioned that several times now, so now I could go on, and I'm sure that would be much enjoyed, but I think we'll talk a few other things for now. Which 9F did you drive? Says Taggart00. Let me go and have a look, because I had TMC make me one after I did it, just to remind me of the time I drove a 9F. Mine was 92214. If anybody was curious, that's the one I drove. So when you see that, you'll have to remind yourself, once upon a time, I think it was, I don't know what year it was when I drove the 9F, but yeah, just remind yourself, Sam Strange drove this once, and he certainly did. And that was just if you want to note on that, it was the 9F 92214. That was the engine in question. Right, I see, says William Town. Well, I wasn't. Some people have mentioned that I did mention it, but I can't remember whether I actually did or not. So I'll just put it out there now, just for those that might not have heard me briefly mention it in the past. Now I've mentioned it to some extent, and perhaps I will bring it up, perhaps once a year or twice a year, just so that new subscribers can hear about the time I drove a 9F. It was quite an impressive thing, you know, just seeing me go past. All right, I'm sorry, I'll stop. I told you I could go on all night, but I didn't mean to go on and prove that I could, so I'm sorry, let's stop. Solar powered hobbies, please stop asking questions about the 9F. I'm just, you know, I realise that it's an impressive thing and people want to know the details, but, you know, it was a long time ago. I don't want to be asked about it every 2 minutes. Is that all right? It's not something I want to spend all my time talking about. I mean, I could. Maybe I'll do a separate Q&A about the time I drove a 9F, if anybody's interested. Oh, planes and trains, you like to see... This is not helping. You guys are annoying now. This is not helping. This is not helping me trying to get off the subject. Admittedly, I haven't tried very hard, but you're making it much harder. Yes, you can see it. TMC did a good job of this, I should say, because all I said was, can you renumber it to 92214? And I thought that's all they were going to do, but they did it, you know. You can't tell, it looks just like it was made like that at the factory, but they also, I didn't ask them to do this, but they also noticed that it wouldn't have had the sort of copper coloured or brassy coloured chimney, so they blackened that. That looks great. They also updated the front number there, all part of the service. So yeah, I was very surprised when they did that, and it was better than I was expecting it to be. So yeah, there we go, that's the one I drove. Oh, and they took Evening Star off the smoke deflectors too, of course. So yeah, it was brilliant. Did a good job. And of course it's made a nice, unique 9F as well. Just to remind me if I ever forget, I'm sure that's unlikely, about the time I drove a 9F on the Great Central. Plus 1 vote for a 9F live stream, says Solar Powered Hobbies. Alright, well, we'll see. Well, maybe. Let's see if we get some more votes for such a thing. So is that a modified Evening Star, says Mo Phipps? Yes. So I assume Mo wasn't here. I'm sorry, folks. I'm going to go into this one more time. Wasn't here when I was talking about the time I drove a 9F, but I did once for my birthday. my parents very kindly bought me an opportunity to drive the 9F, the Great Central Railway. And so when I got back, I had that model. Well, I had a Hornby Evening Star modified by TMC to represent the loco that I drove. So there you go. That's in a nutshell. That's what happened. And if you'd like to know more details, just watch the past 10 minutes of the stream. I haven't really told the story. It's more just me repeatedly mentioning that I drove the 9F. But perhaps that would whet your appetite for such things. I don't know. But we will get off that subject now. You'll be pleased to hear, and I don't know where the other train is. Oh, for goodness sake. Something's gone wrong. It's stuck. I don't know. What? Can you see it? You can see some of the egg vans. The loco was running, but the train wasn't moving. The egg vans are stuck. What? That's ridiculous. This egg van at the back is stuck on something. And now it isn't. Oh, was it this track pin? I think a track pin had come sticking out, but for some reason it just grabbed the last of the egg vans on the way past. How absolutely bizarre. What? How did that happen? Okay, well, maybe it was the thundering of the Helgen Tango blasting over that piece of track that caused the very track pins to lose their grip on reality, and also my carpet. Right, there goes the Tango at maximum speed. If this goes wrong, we're going to have broken eggs everywhere. Hopefully it won't. Right. Nope. She brought it in safe and sound. Okay. Right, egg ahoy. Let's take these bad boys off. Hopefully that's the last we've seen of them for now. And I'm sure another request will come in straight away. Oh, you didn't see me do that, did you? Well, I took them off, and that's what I did. And where's my sheet of paper? Because I've got the next ones written down on there, so I'll need to get those ready in just a second. All right. How's everybody doing, folks? You all having a good time? Getting ready for Christmas? Oh, I'm very much ready for Christmas. Should be a lot of fun. No more 9F, says Talanzalita. I wasn't going to mention it again, you just brought it up. Why are we talking about all this? Track maintenance time. Yes, Egg, I pushed the track pin back into the track, so track maintenance has ensued. Green eggs and ham, says Williamtown. Quite right, quite right. Right, let's see. We've got another no more 9F comment. Please stop bringing it up. I've answered all the questions I'm prepared to answer about that subject. It's not something I like to talk about, frankly. It makes me a little bashful. Jane W, behave yourself. I'm not having this conversation anymore until the next live stream, and then we'll probably continue. I mean, the Bachmann Christmas Express. What about it, Simeon Jackson? What about it? Oh, is that what you meant in your request? I assume so. Oh, I don't know if I want to see it sail down the loft ladder. I mean, I sort of do, but I suppose I could make it look like I threw it down the loft ladder. I don't know. Right, what was your favourite series on Thomas the Tank? I don't know if I have a favourite series, but it would have to be something narrated by Ringo Starr, I think, and it would have to be the physical model series as opposed to the CGI stuff. Actually, the CGI stuff isn't bad at all. It's far better than what we've got now with the 2D nonsense. Does anybody else like that? Just not right, if you ask me. But otherwise, yeah, if it was with the real model, some of the early stuff, yeah, I like that stuff. I think those were the best. Right, I don't really have money, but could you run the Santa Fe Blue Goose from Broadway Limited Imports? Well, if you're interested in that, check last week's stream, because that loco featured quite predominantly. So yeah, you can see that one there. Please play Happy Train Birthday for my friend Kieran Jackson, who's watching. You know what? We could do that. If anybody else has got a birthday in the house, super chat for any amount, and at the end, I will play the birthday song for anybody who has turned yet another year older this year. things we don't talk about. One, Bruno. That's right, we certainly don't, not on this channel. And two, the time Sam drove a 9F. Yeah, those two things are very much in the same category. Co-main production, so series 1 or 2, yeah, that'll work. Series 1, let's say, because that first series was pretty magical, wasn't it? Sam, do you have a favourite tank engine, says Stan Does Trains? That's an interesting question. People normally ask, do you just have a favourite engine, full stop? Yes, this year I think the Hawthorne Leslie by Dapple would be my favourite tank engine. But before that, I don't think I was... before that, I don't think I've ever thought about that. I don't know. I think there's too many tank engines to consider. Off the top of my head, I really liked the Bachmann 1P. I also really like the Hornby H-Class, except for the fact that its performance issues kind of ruined it. But I think I would have said if the Hornby H-Class was the perfect runner, then that one could have been up there. I also like the P-Class. Yeah, I'm a bit of a fan of the SECR, as you could tell. But yes, any of those, yeah, anything like that, I really do like. Right, so with that, I've got some requests left over from last stream, so here they come. Hope you enjoy them. First up then, we have a lovely request from Terence Priestley, which is actually far too enjoyable to have been in the stream of unenjoyable requests. So Terence wanted to see the LMS 4P with a bit of a passenger train. So this is the Bachmann example, which I think is the nicest. And I've coupled it up with some blood and custard coaches. So lovely pairing there. Thank you very much to Terence Priestley. Then on the middle line, we have a much more unenjoyable request, I would say, from Beaglington, who I chose as my winner of the least enjoyable requests last week. And that was to see the Fell, an unenjoyable loco, with the Coke Lomac, the railroad car transporter. Blimey, we've not run this thing for a long time. And the Beatles E2 up the rear. That's something none of us want, isn't it? The Beatles E2 up the rear. But anyway, very unenjoyable. Well done, Beaglington on C. And thank you, of course, for your support. Then we have a 2020 Vision, who wanted to see the big boy with the Disneyland coaches. So that's a strange pairing, actually. I don't think it occurred to me how odd that was until I actually put these on the track and saw them. But yes, what a pairing. And can you imagine going to a theme park or something and getting on a train like this? Yes, that would be insane, and I wonder how many of these coaches a big boy could haul. Probably many hundreds. But anyway, Terence Priestley, a 2020 Vision, and Beaglington on C, thank you very, very much for those requests. Up next, we have a request from Mega Train Lover, who wanted to see an A4 with some Gresley coaches. So, what a lovely request that is. So I've gone with Mallard, of course, the most famous, arguably, of the A4s, with some ex-Gresley teaks here and blood and custard livery. Mega Train Lover, thank you very much for that lovely request. So up next we have a request from Diesel Elevators, who wanted to see a sequel to, I guess, last week's request, whereby the green caterpillar, diseased caterpillar, whatever it is, was chasing a lovely train. Well, this week the caterpillar is being chased by the War Department with a train full of all the rail equipment that they've got. So with that, here we go. Let the chase commence, and I don't think it will last very long because the caterpillar's slow. So now she's literally going to be rammed out of town. There we go. And her expression hasn't changed, even though there is a mogul up her backside. And I apologise for all the talk of trains in backsides today. That is unfortunate, but I don't mean anything by it particularly. And there we go, into the distance. What a beautiful, beautiful train. Then we have EdFlame4291. I want to say a massive congratulations to EdFlame because back on Monday he actually got married, so congratulations for that. And then a couple of days later it was his birthday, so what a week EdFlame4291 has had. And they wanted to see the Merchant Navy rebuilt with the S15 tailed with a 56 and hauling some blood and custard coaches, which I've set up. So thank you so much for your support, EdFlame4291, and congratulations once again. Up next then, we have a very simple request from North Bay Railway fan, who just wanted to see Scotsman. So I've got Scotsman hauling some blood and custard teaks, and because the teaks are sort of BR era, I think, I've gone with the BR Blue Scotsman, just because that's a really, really handsome looking loco. So thank you very much to North Bay Railway fan. And then Lindsay Tate has made a 009 request, which I can't remember if I've done before. And I've certainly never done this specific request before. At any rate, the Quarry Hunslet and the Small England double heading. And so I've done that, and I've popped on some rolling stock as well, just so that they can haul something. So that's very, very cool and original. Thank you to Lindsay Tate and the North Bay Railway fan. All right, folks. Thank you very much for those awesome requests. All right, so next thing to talk about, and this is pretty handy because, oh, who was it? I wrote down their request, but I didn't write down who had submitted it. That ain't right. All right, give me 1 second, let me find out. Right, so many years ago on this channel, every year I would create a fictional Christmas special. Now, I still make Christmas specials today, of course, but they're not sort of stories. There might be a Christmas train set like this year, or like this, a festive stream. Let me just have a look. Ah, yes. And it was William Soutar 506 who made this request, which you can see on the outside line. And this is a throwback to the times when I used to make those Christmas stories every year. And I don't know how I found the time to make them, because towards the end they would take about 2 weeks. But if you want to look back, this is a throwback to one of them called the Ugly Tank Engine, which I think was probably the most popular one. I think that one was always, yeah, the favourite among you folks. I forget what year that was now, but it was many, many years ago, and it was a bit like the Ugly Duckling. We had Gregsby, who you can see there behind Bullman, who was sad because he couldn't run the Christmas train, he couldn't haul the Christmas train, and because I think the townsfolk found him too ugly and they didn't think that he would be suitable to haul Santa's train. And then Bullman, who was the hero of the story, I suppose, he helped show the world that Gregsby was a perfectly useful tank engine and that he would be more than up to hauling the Christmas train. And so there was a happy ending. So look that video up if you're interested. It was the Ugly Tank Engine, and it was from the days when I used to do sort of animated Christmas specials. They were like live action sort of animated hybrids, really. So there we go, that one was from William Soutar, thank you for that. And we have, ooh, a bit wobbly there, and we have Lord Westwood with the realistic chuffing sound, who always, without fail, I think, appeared in those Christmas streams. So he has now appeared for 2024, which is awesome. Then Techno Andrew, sorry, not Techno Adam, Andrew wanted to see the Two Tangos double heading, so this is the first time I've ever done that, with some orange coaches. Now I don't think I have orange coaches, but I've got red and yellow, and I guess if you mix red and yellow together, do you get orange? I think a sort of orange. So hopefully that's close enough for you, and I don't know what's going to happen when I try and double head these. They should be alright-ish though, because they've got the same motor, haven't they, I think. Then Beaglington wanted to see an Atlantic with some coaches, with some chocolate wagons. Oh, I thought it wasn't going to work then, because I've got something to tell you about this Atlantic. Some chocolate wagons, presents, cola, a coach and some milk. I couldn't find the Coca-Cola van. I had a quick look, so I put a generic red one on, and we can say that's full of Coca-Cola. Now I think I've figured out what the noise was earlier on, because I picked up the Atlantic. Well, I think it could have been this. I picked up the H1 Atlantic, and the drawbar screw had popped out. It was lying where the loco came from. So was that what the noise was? Because it sounded like something pinging off an engine. I don't know how that could have happened, but I think those Bachmann drawbar screws spring-loaded? I think they are, aren't they? They could be. So could I have heard that go ping? So yeah, the H1 is running without its screw in, which isn't very good, but you know, so be it. I'm sure it'll be fine. I've got plenty of wire if I need to resolder it. I was laughing to myself because the Tango did not look good, did it? It looked a little bit off kilter as it was running along, and indeed it is. Seems to have derailed. I don't know how, but maybe being pushed from behind like that hasn't helped it. I think the thing is also, I mentioned it derailing in the reviews. The thing I didn't mention was I think the flanges are pretty fine, and someone else mentioned it in the comments as well, so I won't take complete credit for this idea. But yeah, because of how fine the flanges are, that does make the Loco all the more sensitive, of course, to slightly uneven track work, shall we say. And because the tender seems to be lifting it up at times, I think that might have also been why. You know, Locos with larger flanges, they might not look quite as good, but at least those flanges sort of allow the train to stay on the track, even if it does go over a bit of a bump or, you know, starts a gradient or something like that. So I'm sure that's contributing as well. Jenny Hepton, thank you so much. Could you run 3 King classes? Oh, that's clever. Have I got 3 of them? For my son, Thomas Hepton. Yes, I will certainly do that. I'm not going to have time, unfortunately, in this stream because I've got a big queue of them lined up now. So I'll have to do that one in the new year. Sorry about that. But yeah, thank you so much for that. I love that 3 Kings idea as well. That's incredibly festive. And thank you to Thomas Hepton for that. That's very, very cool. And that is definitely, I think, a contender for the most festive request of the day. So you could be in for a wagon with that one. I'll check over the rest of the requests because I know a lot of them have been quite festive. But yeah, look at that. People in the comments are really liking that one. Lol, 3 Kings. Has that ever come up before? Surely that has come up before. If not, then Thomas Hepton, you have come up with something very cool and original there. Something I cannot believe we've not done before. I don't think I have though, because I don't think I have 3 Kings. But maybe I do. No, that's a castle. I was thinking of the Wren one. It's fine. I'm sure I can find another engine that's got a king on it. Yeah, I do actually. I've got a coronation that's King George something or other. So yeah, we could do it to an extent. Anyway, yeah, let's go through everybody then and just thank my wonderful requesters and super chatters. I know they're not all requests. So yeah, huge thank you to all of the following for their wonderful support. You are the best. You know, the guys that come and watch, you lot that come and watch, you are the best as well. You know, I couldn't do this without you either. So don't feel bad if you're not super chatting. Yeah, because you're all awesome, and none of this will be possible without any of you. But yeah, especially those at Super Chat, you are super awesome, so thank you. Right, William Sutar 506, appreciate you. Hendrick Motorsports Fan 5, William Town, Techno Andrew, Beaglington, yeah, it was Andrew, not Adam, or whatever it was I said. Beaglington on C, Hendrick Motorsports Fan 5, Jim Flag wanted to see the Hush Hush, yeah, we can totally do that. David Molin, thank you very much, and a Merry Christmas to you as well, and your family too. You wanted to see the Bachmann Christmas 060 with Greg and Bullman, along with some Christmas wagons. See, not everybody's forgotten about Gregsby. David's remembered as well. Thank you, Greg. Of course, you Gregsby nearly. David. Sideways 66779, how are you? Could you run the Hornby Percy pulling a Christmas-themed train, Christmas present wagons, and Queen Mary? No problem, Sideways. Thank you very much for that. Eggs Trains, thank you to you for your awesome Christmas-themed request, with Bullman and an array of Christmas stocking items, this being Bullman's Christmas Party. I like that. We should have called the stream that, Bullman's Christmas Party. Air Knight, thank you for your Hush Hush request. Talazo Hatalalia. What a butcher. I should open a butchery for Christmas and sell turkey, shouldn't I? Kelly Ashford, thank you very much. Creepy Grey Tango, that's a cool one as well, I like that. Robert Sparks, you are awesome, I hope you realise that. A2020 Vision, thank you very much. Trainline 5000 as well. I am reading all of these as I go because I do need to choose the most festive of these. You want to see a rare track rail tour with 2 locos top and tailing, maybe 2 or 3 coaches, visiting rarely used bits of the layout, rarely used points, sidings, etc. Ooh, that's a very creative one. I like it, nice work. Mayo Hosco, Donald and Douglas back to back with a works coach between and Beal Hack snowplows in front of both engines, buffers. Yeah, I do have Beal Hacks, I think. I think I read that one already, but I do like it, clearing snow. J&W, thank you very much to you. The M7 and the 1P, love those ones. Bavarian Banshee, what a username. You wanted to see the Bachmann 7F with some clerestory coaches. I find that one quite festive, to be fair, because it's got the sort of gold around the windows, which looks a bit Christmassy, doesn't it? Simeon Jackson, thank you very much for yours. I did read yours. ECD Railroad, the Tomix train set. That's an interesting one. The Thomas stuff, maybe? Did they make some Thomas stuff? I thought they did, or somebody did. Yeah, I could look at that. Or do you mean the one that I got given to me? Yes, I do need to look at that one as well. I can't remember if that was Tomix or not. You wanted Gladstone with red, green and blue coaches. Oh, that'll be lovely. Yeah, good old Gladstone. Thank you for that. Williamtown again, Taggart 00, A2020 Vision, and Jenny Hepton. Thank you for that one. That one was brilliant, the King request. And let me just refresh because I thought I saw another one come through. Jersey Bill. Christmas tea or coffee. Coffee or tea. Thank you, Jersey Bill. That's really lovely. Right, well, Thomas Hepton, you can have the wagon. So if you want this one, what's happened there then? We'll have to have a look later. If you want this one, drop me an email, let me know. If you want some of the other wagons, let me know. The Ricket one is not available. I don't think the Challenge one is available, but I'm not sure. If you'd rather have something 00, let me know and I can do that. Or if you want the N-Scale Christmas wagon, that's absolutely fine too. Right, what's happened here then? Oh Lord. Yeah, the Grey Tango's off and it's very, very close to catching the Christmas coaches. So I think we'll cut power to it just so that it doesn't destroy the engines. I mean, it probably deserves destruction to be fair, but I'll try not to cause too much of that if possible. And with that, folks, that is the end of Series 20 of Sam's Trains Live. I've done 20 series of these live streams now. So next year I'm planning to cut back on live streams a little bit because I think I prefer to make the pre-recorded videos because I can be more elaborate with those and it allows me to cover more ground. So I don't know when I'll be back doing live streams. I can promise you I'll be back at Christmas doing some sort of live streams, and I think the tentative plan we have at the moment is to do the odd live stream here and there with Chloe, possibly, just to talk about what's happening at the time, run some trains, make it nice and casual. So if you've got any ideas for what I could do live, do let me know. Next week, I've got some awesome stuff coming up. I've got all the latest in the model railway news. I've got some of the less pleasant models of the year to show you, and also yet another review to come out. So look out for that. The live streams may be over, but there's still a lot to come this year from the Sam's Trains channel. Lots of reviews, lots of videos still to come, so I hope you enjoy those. And after that, I hope you have an incredibly happy and Merry Christmas, and also a Happy New Year. Have a rest, have a break, enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Now, it's like I'm signing off forever, but no, more videos still to come. Thank you so much for your support over this series of live streams, folks. I really do appreciate you, and it's been fun, it's been great. I think this has been my favourite series of live streams. We had Jess last week, all sorts of silly shenanigans. I did unboxings, lots of trains, and of course a Christmas poem today to finish things off. So yeah, I feel good about this. I've enjoyed it. And it wouldn't have been possible without you, so thank you so, so much. All right, cheers, folks. You have a great evening and a great weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow with some more videos. Well, more specifically, a news video. All right, cheers, folks. Take care. Hey folks, thank you all very, very much for tuning in for another episode of Sam's Trains Live. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back with another episode very, very soon, but in the meantime, please enjoy the videos that I'll be posting on my channel till then, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks again for your support, folks, and take care of yourselves.